Hello, my name is Clickachu and today I will show my 3.21 Magic Find build on the Standard League. In all of my previous MF build versions I was using Wind Reaper bow, but this time I slightly changed my build and I started using a rare physical bow and physical conversion. The reason is to have more damage until I can mirror some gear and go back to the Wind Reaper setup. I will show and explain everything here. 3 jewels, skill tree, gear, gems setup and everything else that is relevant. Let's start with the 3 jewels. I'm using 2 large cluster jewels. First large cluster jewel is the 12 passives one with some life, attributes and lightning resistance. All of these stats are amplified by the 35% increased effect of small passive stat. In both of the jewel sockets there are 2 medium cluster jewels. They are both almost the same as they both have pressure points and quick getaway mods. In the medium cluster jewels jewel sockets there are Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh jewels, and they allocate Master Surgeon. Master Surgeon is a Pathfinder Ascendancy mod, and these jewels let me use it as a Deadeye. One of the things that Master Surgeon does is life flask effects are not removed when unreserved life is filled. This means that I can use Divination Distillate now, and even if my mana or life is fully recovered, the flask effect is still active. With this set, it can be used even with Legacy Victor Flask, and I can have Instant Leech and Divination Flask effect, which is brilliant. The second large cluster jewel has Prismatic Heart for more damage and resistances, and Blanketed Snow. Blanketed Snow gives 10% cold penetration against chilled enemies, which is nice, and I have 100% physical to cold conversion in this build. In the jewel sockets, there are 2 medium cluster jewels. One is almost the same as the 2 previous medium cluster jewels, it has pressure points and quick getaway. The second one has Storm Rider mod, which is the source of power charges, and the other mod is Blast Freeze for increased cold damage. In the jewel sockets, there are 2 Legacy Searching Eye jewels. One of them has added fire damage, which is important to take advantage of the Cinder Swallow mod, which says ignited enemies take 10% increased damage. Unlike other elements, Ignite doesn't have any damage threshold, so this tiny amount of added fire damage will do the job. Next jewel is the Elegant Hubris with number 146340. It has 2 increased rarity mods allocated, 40% each, which gives 80% item rarity. The max you can get from this jewel is 160% with the correct number of course, but I prefer 80%, so I also get some damage from it as well. Other 2 mods on the tree granted by this jewel are 2 times 80% projectile damage. Next jewel is Thread of Hope, the version that affects passives in a large ring. The affected passives can be allocated without being connected to the tree, and I allocated Multi-Shot for additional projectile, King of the Hill, Master Fletcher for additional arrow, Aspect of the Eagle, and one with Nature. The last jewel is Watcher's Eye with increased attack speed while affected by Precision, and added flat cold damage while affected by Hatred. The Anger mode is irrelevant for this build, as I'm not using this aura. Now let's take a look at the skill tree. I'm using Charisma with Reservation Mastery that gives 8% increased damage per aura, Revenge of the Hunted, Forces of Nature with the Elemental Mastery which gives 20% chance to invert the resistances values of the monsters, Ballistics, Primal Spirit, Heart of Oak, Heartseeker for some nice crit multi, Acuity for increased attack speed and accuracy, Herbalism for increased life, Lethality for crit chance and crit multi, and Projectile Mastery with 15% increased projectile speed, which is important for Tornado Shot. Natural Remedies for increased flask effect duration, Thick Skin for increased life, Long Shot for projectile speed and increased damage against enemies that are farther, Fangs of Frost for increased cold damage and penetration, and Cold Mastery with 40% physical to cold conversion. My Ascendancy choice is Deadeye, and it has Gathering Winds for permanent tailwind, which gives increased action speed, which technically is increased attack and movement speed, Ricochet for +1 chain, Endless Munitions for +2 projectiles, and Far Shot. My major Pantheon god is Soul of Aracali for some damage over time mitigation. The minor Pantheon choice is Soul of Abrath for Burning Ground immunity. Bandits quest status is Help Alira for additional plus 15% to all elemental resistances and a nice 20% crit strike multi. Now let's discuss the gear. PoE is a rare bow with physical damage, as this setup is a 100% Phys to cold conversion. I always use a legacy Wind Reaper and I will start using it again and change this setup to the elemental one when my other gear will be strong enough. Quiver is a nice synthesized rare one with +1 arrow implicit and 7% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit mode, which is really nice, so this quiver is a frenzy charges source. Helmet is a mirrored copy of Rune Halo from MC. It has legacy +2 tornado shot secondary projectiles enchant and a decent amount of damage, quant and rarity. Body armor is Spirit Hide from the TFT mirror shop. Gloves are just crafted rare ones and they could definitely be better, but at least they have some rarity alongside the 20% item quant. The important thing on these gloves are the crafted 35 and 25% Phys to cold conversion mods. With this 60% and 40% from the cold mastery on the skill tree, this build has 100% physical to cold conversion. Boots are the legacy unique gold worm. They are not too strong, but they have 30% item quant, which is the max for this slot. My next mirrored item will probably be boots. Please let me know in the comments which ones you think would be the best. Amulet is a mirrored one from MF Academy mirror shop. There are some MF amulets which give more damage, but my goal was to get a decent amount of item rarity along with the item quant. Rings are just rare rings with 20% quant each, and one of them has the elemental weakness curse on hit. I definitely need better rings, but the mirror fees are enormous. Belt is the Headhunter belt with 29% item rarity implicit on it. Now let's discuss the flasks. All of them have the use when charges are full enchant, so I basically don't need to spam them anymore. The only exception is the hybrid flask, as it can't be enchanted. First flask is the gold flask for additional item rarity. Flask number 2 is the legacy Quicksilver flask for movement speed, of course. Third flask is the Divination Distillate. As I mentioned before, with the Master Surgeon Forbidden Flame and Flesh jewels, I can keep it active even when I'm on full life and mana, which is just great. Fourth flask is the Legacy Vinctor flask with instant leech. This is the flask that gives me survivability and it really keeps me alive. Flask number 5 is the Cinder Swallow Urn, the Crit Strike Legacy version. Really strong flask with many benefits. As I mentioned before, I have some added flat fire damage on one of my jewels, so I can benefit from the bonus that ignited monsters take 10% increased damage. Now let's talk about skills, auras and support gems. My main skill, which is used both for mapping and single target, is Divergent Tornado Shot connected to Mirage Archer support, Awakened added cold damage support, item quantity support, Awakened elemental damage with attacks support, and increased critical damage support. Secondary 6-link is used for Animated Guardian. It gives some damage and defense, but the main reason is to get 30% item rarity. I'm using the Divergent version of Animated Guardian for increased life, as in case if he dies, his items are lost. The gems for this setup are Divergent Animated Guardian connected to Empower level 4, Enhance level 4, it's important as it increases the Guardian's life so he doesn't die, Minion life support, Mid shield support, and Elemental army support. Here are the items that I use to summon it. Kingmaker Axe, which gives me 30% item rarity, Crown of the Tyrant with blue socket, which adds flat lightning damage to allies, which means to me. Southbound Gloves, so the Guardian can only kill frozen enemies to make him kill less monsters as I need to kill them myself to get the IIQ bonus. Groothull Spelt for nice life pool and life regen. And Fugitive Boots, just rare ones crafted with Essence of Envy for some chaos resistance. Some life, other resistances and movement speed are good too, of course. My next 4-link setup is Purity of Elements. It not only keeps my minions safe, but it also makes me immune to elemental ailments. This aura is also a must-have if you want to keep your Animated Guardian alive. Next aura is Anomalous Hatred. Next one is Precision, and they are all connected to Enlighten level 4. My next 4-link setup is actually 2x2 link, and it's Val Haste and Anomalous Blood and Sand. Please note that I'm only using Val Haste to trigger it manually, I don't have normal haste aura reserved. Then I have Divergent Dash connected to Second Wind support. Another 4-link setup is also 2x2 links, and it's Anomalous Cast when damage taken level 1 connected to Immortal Call level 3, and Sniper's Mark connected to Divergent Mark on hit. Now here's very important thing. If you have this Mark on hit connected to the Mark gem, it works like Curse on hit and it doesn't need to be connected to the skill. It is applied with every skill that you use, which is crazy. It's a huge damage boost, and that is why I use Whispers of Doom Amulet enchant to have +1 curse, so I can apply this mark with every single hit, as I already have curse with elemental weakness on my ring. Now the tooltips. IIQ and IIR with all flasks active are 207% item quantity and 486% item rarity. Now let's have a look at the offense and defense tooltips. The Tornado Shot damage tooltip shows 281k 792, and with all flasks active it shows 381k 274. My resistances are 75, 75, 75, and they are overcapped. And with the Divination Distillate flask active, they are 81, 81, 81. My life pool is 4k 423. So this is basically it. The path of building Paste Bin will be in the pinned comment. If you're not sure about something, please ask in the comments and I will reply. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to help me getting to my 1000 subscribers goal. I'm almost there. Also, please let me know what would you upgrade in this build. In the next video I will show the gameplay with this exact setup on a juiced 8 modded Delirious map. See you in the next one. Bye.